Hi, my name is Sarah Lawrenson, and I was making this blog to discuss a website that I'm going to be working on. Um, it deals with parents who are dealing with the stresses of children who are being harassed, um, working in partnership, or, well, maybe not partnership, but working off of the idea of stopping bullying. Um, when I went today looking for resources on how to talk, things to do to talk with your child or to discuss with your child what to do after they've been bullied, most of the resources available are targeted at parents of older kids. Um, there's a little bit of elementary school bullying. In fact, there's a lot of elementary school bullying. I remember elementary school, it was bad. But most of it is meant more for parents of older kids, and think what you can say and what you can do. And even more to the point was that I did not find anything on what to do when it isn't on the playground, when it isn't another child, when it's an adult. Um, so what got me started on all this was today my kids and I went swimming in the 100-degree California weather. Um, we have been playing in the backyard, and we were in our swimsuits and in the backyard. And, we don't have to worry about too much harassment except for if somebody looks over the fence. Um, my daughter and one of my nieces, who is 9, my daughter is 6, went to the front yard, still in their bathing suits, and started building a little treehouse for their dolls. And we were fine with that. My mother-in-law, because I was at my mother-in-law's house, and my sister-in-law, we were peeking in, but they're older kids. We could hear them from the front yard. My niece comes to me and says that these people just pulled over their car and were harassing my daughter and my niece, and that they were calling them names, and particularly my daughter. My daughter, who is fairly young, took all of this to be an attack on her. And what can I say to make that better? Um, my daughter's taken it very well. When we got home, I gave her some ice cream and, gave her a little bit of stuff. But you can tell your child that they're beautiful, and at this age, they're inclined to believe you and, not say, oh, you're my parent, you're supposed to say that. And I can remember telling my mom that when I was in high school. And self-esteem is hard to come by. And these are the fundamental years of building that. So I just don't know what to tell her. And these people that pulled over their car to tell my daughter that she was nasty and that she was fat and that she shouldn't be wearing that bathing suit, who told my 6-year-old daughter, despite the fight against fat shaming, the fight against bullying in general, decided that it was appropriate to pull over and do this to my daughter. We're not talking about young adults. We are talking about adults that are older than I am. We are talking about 35 to 40-year-old people who are the parents of teenagers who, in front of their teenagers, did this. Told my daughter these things. Treated my daughter like this. And I couldn't call the police. I was left with a partial license plate, and by partial I mean a single number of a 7-digit license plate. I was left with a single number. a basic description of what the people look like according to my 9-year-old niece, and a description of what their car was that they couldn't even be sure was a van or an SUV. My mother-in-law lives on a street that has maybe 15 people on the whole street. She lives in the middle of nowhere. So eventually, these people have to come back, or might come back, to my mother-in-law's street. And while my daughter might not be there because my daughter lives in a different home, my niece still lives there. And the entire idea infuriates me. But what infuriates me the most is that they're getting away with this. I was honestly afraid to call the police because I was afraid that I was profiling, or that I would be considered profiling. The people who attacked my children verbally today were black. And being a white Anglo-Saxon woman, most of the people I associate with are also Anglo-Saxon. That's not to say that I don't have friends of color or that I am particularly racist. Every single person in the world is racist. And I mean, that's a fact. Every single person is racist in one way or another. But I was afraid to call the police because I was afraid that I would be accused of profiling. And my daughter's best friend at school is black. I'm friends with her parents on Facebook. And my daughter has already associated these people with her friend from school. They were the same color as insert child's name here. They looked like. And for my child to go through a traumatic experience of any sort, and to a 6-year-old, this is pretty traumatic. It's pretty traumatic for an adult. For me, who wasn't even in the vicinity when this happened, it's traumatic. It's upsetting to me. I can't imagine what she's going through. And for her to already associate that with her best friend bothers me a lot. And we've talked about it. I've tried addressing this with her. I've tried addressing as much as I can, but I also don't want to push my child into anything, believing anything about anyone. And I don't want her to believe that all adults are these evil, vicious people, and anybody who's not families means her doom, or at least emotional hurting. But I also don't want her to be naive to think that these people might hurt me. And by these people, I mean adults, not people of color. I feel that at this point, the time for me to say something to the police has lapsed at this point. It's been several hours. But I don't feel that this is something that I should just, I've talked with my daughter, and I've tried to deal with my daughter, who's actually taking it phenomenally well. We got home and she was feeling very much that the attacks were strictly on her, not so much on my niece, and that it was because of her bathing suit and that she shouldn't be allowed to wear that bathing suit. And I told her that no one should make her feel less. No one has the right to say what she can and cannot wear. No one has the right, well, I do, but no public person has the right to dictate what my child can and cannot do, or my child can or cannot wear, unless they're a peace officer. But regardless of that, I told her that she should not feel less because an adult decided to verbally attack her today. No parent, no adult should have the right to talk to my child the way that they did today. Um, no parent should talk to another human being, let alone child, human being, in front of their kids the way they talk to my daughter today. I'm furious. And really, there's nothing that I could do. If I called the police, I could give them a basic description and, it get written down. But what is going to happen? What's really going to happen? Be realistic. I have now wasted an officer's time and made a police report in case we might see them again, or in case they might do this to someone else. But I think personally that the best solution for me is to build a website that offers more parent to parent bullying advice, how to deal with especially young kids and preventing this. My child's a little bit overweight, but she's not by any means huge, and even if she were, it does not give anyone the right to treat my child like this, to talk about my child like this. Um, Really, what else can I say? Emery, get out of the fridge, please. I'm very angry. I'm very hurt for my daughter, and I just want to know that there's a need for this. I don't want to spend all my time building this website for parent-to-parent advice and have it be just me and my 3 friends who join and discuss with this, especially since most of my peers who have children are dealing with children who are 3 and 2 who get it even less than my 6-year-old did today. So I'm basically wanting to know, is there really a need for this? And if for some reason you feel that there's not a need because there's already a need, the need's already being met, put a link in the towel section below, and I will look into it as quickly as I can. Thanks for hearing me out, and